Hey there, my name is Robin and I am with Care 7. I work very closely with our victim advocates as well as our counselors, and I'm here to provide a series of videos that just give you some additional support and resources for managing your stress, providing some self-care tools and some coping strategies to help you get through likely this very overwhelming time. If you're watching this, you probably just went through an event that changed your life, and one that is changing the way that you are relating to yourself, meaning you're gonna be experiencing some signs and symptoms of trauma that are gonna feel really unfamiliar. And a lot of times this manifests in both the body and in the mind and the emotions. So your body might be feeling very achy, very sluggish, very tired. Your sleep is likely going to be a little bit irregular or easily interrupted. Your joints are going to be achy. Your mind is going to be scattered. Your ability to retain information and communicate and express yourself in the ways that you're used to are going to be challenged. Your mind is a little overwhelmed now. It's taken in a lot of new information, and so it's not uncommon to have brain fog or difficulty with memory or difficulty thinking. As well, your emotions are going to be all over the place. They're going to be up and down. They're going to be hot and cold, easily irritable, easily startled. You might go through periods of sensitivity and anger and everything, all of the emotions between. Could be very, very difficult to be present. You might find your attention wandering away from the presence, and you might find that you have this desire to disengage from the things and the people that you're used to engaging with. Okay, so all of these responses are normal and they're healthy. They're healthy and normal responses to an abnormal and unhealthy event. So we really want to encourage you that what you're going through, there's nothing wrong with you. You haven't done anything wrong because you're experiencing these things. And what we're going to learn about today and in some more videos is how to get your body back online, how to get your mind back online, and how to get back to feeling a little bit more you. When we go through a traumatic event, our body and brain work on behalf of our survival, and a lot of our basic functioning gets shut down and gets put into what we call the fight, flight, freeze response. This is a natural process to help protect us from threat. These instinctive survival techniques consume most of the energy of the body. They slow digestion, exhaust the muscles, and they drain the mind so that the energy can go towards survival. The sooner we can begin to restore these systems, the sooner we can begin to heal. So when we start this healing process, it really doesn't have to be anything complicated. And in fact, the simpler, the more accessible it's going to be. The reality is your body and mind is overwhelmed. It is exhausted. So the simpler, more gentle and steady practices we can integrate in the beginning, the more the body and the mind are going to respond. So thinking in terms of your basic needs, a lot of this is going to seem like really common sense, but making sure that we're getting our basic hierarchy of needs met. So this means trying to sleep, trying to get as much sleep as we can. As I mentioned, your sleep is going to be interrupted, it's going to be irregular. That's totally normal. So give yourself permission if in the middle of the day you're tired and you can, take a nap. Get as much sleep as often as you can. Another basic need is going to be food. also, as mentioned, your tummy is probably going to be a little upset, because when we go through a traumatic event and when we trigger that fight-flight response that we learned about a little bit, everything shuts down in the stomach to help you get through that stressful event. Our digestion slows down. So introducing food after such a stressful event can be difficult. But this is where, I really encourage things like soups and broths, just warm, good old comfort food, chicken soup for the soul kind of thing. But you've got to get food in, even little bits of food in, to nourish and give you gas. Our body is a machine, and it's going to have a hard time healing if we're not, or going anywhere if we're not, nourishing it with the basic needs. And also water, super basic need. But hydration helps not only with our brain fog, not only does it help, it helps with our brain fog, which I'm having apparently in this moment, but it also helps to detox and flush all of the chemicals that get overactivated and stimulated when we are surviving a traumatic event as well. So hydration is super, super important for both the mind and the body as well. So think in terms of your basics: sleep, food, water. Some other things that are really basic tools of self-care are going to be trying as hard as you can not to isolate and disengage from the people and the things that you love. But part of what is really going to help our healing process is to continue to put in experiences and content that feels good, that gives you a sense of safety, that gives you a sense of normalcy. And because we are overwhelmed from the stressful event, a lot of times we detach from things, and we do that because particularly with people, we feel like people aren't going to understand us, and we feel very alone in our process of healing. But this time more than ever is when we need to really lean into the support of those people and things that help us create meaning in our life. So this is your hobbies, your crafts, anything that inspires you, anybody that it feels like they are a safe space for you to have support. And keep in mind, if you need more support, in addition to these videos, we have group therapy and we have counseling as well. Keep in mind that simple movement, such as walks, light hikes, maybe some gentle stretches or deep breathing, or even something as simple as a nice warm bath or shower, can also help calm and restore the mind and the body. It's also really helpful to get outside and get a different change of scenery, fresh air, warm sun, and draw in the grounding elements of nature. You'd be amazed at how a nap in the grass or a picnic can help soothe the senses. I'm so glad that you were able to watch this video, and I hope that it provided you some insight into what you're experiencing and some support for moving forward from this really difficult event. Please stay tuned. There's going to be all sorts of other videos to give you additional resources and skills. Also remember that we have our group therapy and our counseling. The big takeaways that I want to leave you with today are to remind you that everything you're experiencing is a natural response, a normal response to a really crappy and abnormal and unhealthy experience. Okay? A lot of times when we go through these things and we start responding differently, we think it's something that we're doing wrong. You're doing nothing wrong. You have done nothing wrong. Your body and your mind worked so hard. They exhausted themselves for you to survive. And that is normal and it's wonderful. And now we're going to get the body and the mind back online into feeling a little bit better and a little bit normal. So please remember, everything you're experiencing is a normal response to an abnormal event. And also please remember that simple, slow, steady, and consistent delivery of positive, growth-oriented, nourishing behaviors are going to be really ideal for moving forward. So it doesn't have to be complicated. Just every day, as often as you can, practice 1, 2, or 3 of these techniques that we mentioned today. I hope to see you again in the future. Reach out if you need support. We're here for you.